Hey, everybody. Welcome to What Are You Doing in Denmark, the podcast that helps you make Denmark make sense. I am Derek Hartman, and I've been living in Copenhagen since 2017.
I'm Annie Samples. I've been living in Copenhagen since 2019. We're here today with Rachel. You may know her as She's Lost in IKEA on TikTok. She's been here a while. She's studied here. She's going to tell us all about it today. And we're so glad to have you.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Cool. Well, yeah, tell us a little bit about how you came to Denmark, because it's been a multi-chapter affair, right?
Yeah, so I studied in Denmark twice.
Cool.
Couldn't get enough.
Yeah, I couldn't get enough. Oh man, I just love the winters here so much. I just love pain. Okay, so I did an exchange. I think about 8 years ago. I might be getting any of these times wrong.
That's fine.
But
It's a social construct.
yeah, whatever. Time is fake. So 8 years ago, I came and did a semester study abroad program, like through my university, and then I came back and did my master's 5 years ago. And now I'm here, still here.
Yay. That's so good. So you finished your master's.
Yeah.
And tell us about what your master's was in and your education in general.
So business studies and global studies, but I mostly was just taking marketing classes because that was my undergrad was marketing and international branding and marketing.
Wow.
Yeah, and also we have the whole like Philly connection.
I love that.
That's
I was just
true,
going to
yeah.
ask. You're originally from Philly, right?
Yeah, or my
I've never been. You guys have to like
my
tell me
God.
all about
wow.
it. Yeah.
So both my parents are from Philly.
Oh, cute.
And then I went to school there because I was like, why not? I don't really think these things through. I'm like, oh, let's just go here. Let's go here. Okay, now I'm in a foreign country. So I was so excited. I wanted to talk to you for a bit just to see another Philly person.
Aw.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, that was kind of our first connection and having that
Did you
sort of
also
hometown
study
vibe.
in Philly? Or?
I studied in Pennsylvania, but
Okay,
I didn't go
not
to
far.
university in Philly. Yeah.
Okay.
But I grew up in the suburbs and then lived in Philadelphia in the city for
cool.
years. Yeah,
No,
not too
that's so
far.
cool.
Yeah.
Everyone tells me what a great city it is, and like I said, I've never been. I've heard the music scene's really great.
Yeah.
Is that what do you guys love the
The
most about
food
Philly?
scene as well.
Yeah.
Both of our go-to, well, I don't know, D'Alessandro's is like
D'Alessandro's is the absolute
What is
best cheesesteak.
Oh, okay.
place that
I
you
was
have to
gonna
go
like
to.
make a joke about a Philly cheesesteak, but
It's-
y'all are for real about that.
yeah,
I love
it's
it. Okay,
absolutely-
we are for real, for real.
Cool. I need to try it.
Mike and I have gone to D'Alessandro's on December 24th before.
Aw.
Yeah, and for the Danes that may be a little like shocking
Yeah.
because that's
Leaving
when
the
it's
house?
that's when it's when Christmas is celebrated here. Yeah, but of course it's open on the 24th. But we were driving to Christmas Eve dinner at my mom's house, and we were leaving the city. On the 25th, we always go to Mike's family's in Syracuse, New York. So we knew that was our last chance to be in Philadelphia, and we hadn't gotten a cheesesteak yet. So we were driving to Christmas Eve dinner, and we were like, either we don't get a cheesesteak, or we don't get a D'Alessandro's
Right.
cheesesteak, or
This is what we're bringing.
Right, or we're not going to be hungry at Christmas Eve dinner. And that's the choice we made.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I thought you were gonna like pick it up for the whole family.
Oh, no, we just had our own.
So you arrived,
Yeah.
you're like, I'm not
Like,
hungry.
well,
I don't know why.
we kind of already ate. Yeah.
That's
so
funny.
I know.
Okay,
no,
whatever.
but like
You
I
know
get
what?
it.
And honestly, so did our family. Like we
Yeah.
told, like they were like, that's a valid choice.
Exactly.
Yeah, I respect that. Once my brother drove from like DC because he really wanted a cheesesteak. He literally like drove through the night, got a cheesesteak, slept on my couch, and went back.
I would do that
Yeah.
actually.
Oh, I have fraternity brothers that did the same thing. So I went to
Wow,
university
I gotta
like
try this
in-
sandwich.
yeah.
yeah. Oh, sorry. And so I went to university in central Pennsylvania. So we call it Pennsyltucky.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's like Philadelphia on one side of Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh on the other, and Kentucky in the middle.
Oh,
So
cute.
yeah, so
Well, I mean, it's like
it's not that cute. Yeah,
But
like it's like Amish redneck
Oh.
hybrid. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
but also charming.
charming
Cute.
as well. Like very cute.
Is that like
yeah.
a place, like a Rumspringa destination?
Yeah, yeah.
Cute.
Yeah, the Amish.
It's like
Yeah.
rolling hills, apple orchards. It's very like it's
okay.
cute. Yeah, it's very cute. But I wouldn't want to. I don't think I could ever visualize myself living there. But it was nice to be there for 4 years, and I was in fraternity. And since we're going to talk about college, or university, and we had like pledges, they had to be sober and drive us around because we're very responsible drinkers, right? As you could imagine, it was maybe 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, and had some drinks, and like we're like, pledge, let's drive to Philadelphia. We'll pay for the gas. We want cheese.
Yeah, cheesesteak time.
Yeah,
And so then they made the pledges. They were accepted.
Oh, they eventually got in.
Okay,
and then they could make other people drive them around. That's how it works. Yeah.
Just pass the torch along.
Also, Wawa runs.
Oh, Wawa.
3 a.m. Wawa.
What is that?
Okay.
Yeah, y'all are gonna get hungry. We're not gonna be able to focus. Oh my gosh.
Wawa's basically a gas station with the best food.
So like Buc-ee's or no?
It's kind of like Buc-ee's in Texas.
Okay, cute.
Yeah.
Have you been to Buc-ee's yet?
No, I haven't been to Texas.
See, okay, we need to do like a little exchange. Yeah.
We'll definitely dive into everything that brought you here, all of your university experiences that ended up including Denmark, which isn't the norm for an American, and twice.
Yeah, I love that.
So I want to know more about that. But I first thought it could be fun to play a little game for you guys. Ambush, because I forgot to tell Annie about this too.
Oh my gosh, fun on the spot. I love it.
Unless I lose. Just kidding.
So I'm going to ask you guys 3 well-known
I always
figures.
lose.
And you have to let me know if they went to university or not. It doesn't have to be that they went to university or college in Denmark. Some
Just
of them
in
have.
general.
Just in general, are these people who have received degrees from an institute of higher education?
What if it's
Okay.
like, does it count people who are like gifted one,
No.
yeah.
Okay. So
Good
yeah.
question.
So if they received like an honorary degree,
Yeah.
that doesn't count. So
Okay,
this is like
okay,
they
that makes
actually
sense.
pursued
via education.
exactly.
Yeah.
So they actually pursued this
Because
degree.
Taylor Swift has like 10 of those. Really?
Right.
Or not 10 of those. She's at least one.
She has a few.
Good for
yeah.
her, I
but
guess
like
so.
she would be an example. She did not attend university, but she does have
Okay.
those honorary degrees. Or it could be like Harold Bluetooth, like famous for not going to college.
Okay.
But Pocahontas also. So
Right.
Rachel, as the guest, do you want to go first? Just pick a number
Okay.
from 1 to 6, and then I'll ask you about that person.
4.
4. Lisa Kudrow, remembered as playing Phoebe on the television series Friends. Did she attend university?
Oh, okay. Let me think. I feel like because she played a character that was like dumb, you would think no, but I feel like that means it would be a yes.
Yeah, you're
She
right.
strikes me.
Yeah. Yeah. Congrats. Yeah, that's a
Woo!
Yeah.
Good job.
And that was the logic. A little bit of a curveball. Yeah, she has a bachelor's in biology.
Oh,
Yeah, from
that's
Vassar.
amazing.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
dang. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Good for
Go
her.
ahead, Phoebe. Love
Yeah.
it. Cool.
So that's 1 point for
Okay.
Rachel.
Jot that down.
Okay, Annie, your turn.
Okay.
1 through 6.
No
1 through
pressure.
6, and you can't pick 4.
Okay, I will pick 3.
Gene Simmons, the bassist and co-lead singer of Kiss.
I just feel like he must have like a very like upstanding degree in something, right? It's got to be something really ridiculous. No?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes,
Ah!
yes, you're right. Yeah. So, yes, he went to Sullivan County Community College and Richmond College. He majored in education.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Yeah,
Good for
education.
him.
Yeah.
Okay, cute.
Which means he
Entertaining the children.
teach the children.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Okay.
Okay, Rachel. So 3 and 4 have been taken.
Okay, 1.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Ooh. Well, he did become a governor, and
Right.
he's also from like Europe where education's free. I feel like he has
It's also
something.
old. I mean, it may not have. I don't know.
I
Yeah,
feel like he has
true.
something. I feel like he has something.
I hope
So-
so.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, actually, he
Okay, good.
and he studied in the U.S. at. So he has a degree in international. He has a business degree from the University of Wisconsin.
Cute.
Oh, Wisconsin.
Yeah. Didn't expect that.
Imagine the Terminator with like a cheese hat.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
like the Wisconsin cheese.
I could see it. Yeah,
Yeah, I could see it.
it's a lot of protein and cheese.
Yeah, you know, Terminators need cheese.
Delicious Wisconsin cheese.
Okay, Annie.
I will do 5.
5. Okay, Lady Gaga.
I think she rocketed straight to fame. I'm pretty sure straight from high school.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
I weirdly know a lot about Lady Gaga. I wouldn't consider myself a monster, but I have a lot of respect and admiration for her.
But didn't she go to like some really rich, like she went to like a rich kid school with like a lot of famous people?
Yeah, so she, so Stephanie Joanne Angelina Germanata, that's her full name. So she went to the Tisch School of Arts in New York, but she left
my
to
sister
manage her own
went there.
career. Yeah,
Good for her.
So I think she
Yeah.
had, I may not be getting this right, so don't come after us, monsters. But I believe
Sorry, Lady Gaga.
I think she had gotten a deal with Def Jam or
Okay, cute.
some label, and then lost it. and then fired her manager, and then
Damn.
left and
Drama.
started managing her own.
Powerhouse
Yeah.
woman. House Labs.
I love
woman.
her.
Yeah.
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 Oh,
Have you guys tried any House Labs stuff?
No, is
It just
there-
came to Denmark, actually.
because it wasn't.
Yeah,
I don't
so
know.
try. Anyway.
I liked her Oreos though.
Did you
Her
get them in the
collaboration.
U.S.?
No,
you
yeah,
could get
we
them
had
in
them.
Denmark,
But
but
they
they
weren't
weren't
the same.
pink. They were just
Yeah.
Oh,
black
yeah, they were.
Oreos.
Yeah, I was-
But in the U.S., they were like pink or like pink with like
Yeah.
green filling or
Oh, it's
something
probably the
crazy.
dye.
Yeah,
Like, no,
Like,
no.
I want the
No.
dye that gives me
Kill me.
cancer. Kill me, Lady Gaga.
Kill me with your tunes.
Worth it.
Worth it.
Okay, Rachel, left our number 2 and number 6.
6.
6. Okay, this is a good one. Her Majesty Queen Margrethe II. Has she attended university?
Okay, well, I know that she has she has so many hobbies.
So
like,
many.
like if I was a queen, I guess that's the way to do it. Like, I know she draws and she designs. So I feel like, she's gone to some school for that.
Yeah, she is
Okay.
like
Okay.
super highly educated.
Oh.
So,
But isn't it like random things?
Yeah, random things.
Yeah.
And I guess that makes sense because if you've got the time and the resources, like, why?
If I was a queen, I could afford to go to art
You don't need
school.
that business
Yeah.
degree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you go get the things that everybody makes fun of you for
Yeah.
having a degree in. So she actually has a degree in archaeology from Cambridge.
What?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Prehistoric archaeology. So
That's
she studied
so
at like the
cool.
London School of Economics, the Sorbonne in Paris. Like she,
Yeah, of course.
and Aarhus as well because she also kept it
Cute.
local, right?
I
Like,
love
Yeah.
that. So what did she study in Aarhus?
Oh,
You don't have to know. We can look it up.
we'll have to come back to that.
I'm sure the Danes
Maybe
know. So if
art.
there's
but
any Danes
also
listening.
like linguistics. She's translated all kinds of works of literature into
Damn.
Danish. Besides
What?
just the
Yeah, she translated the Lord of the Rings
Lord of the
and
Rings.
like illustrated.
No.
and
it.
illustrated it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
That's
a
Under-
whole
so
thing.
cool.
under a pen name.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Damn, that's so cool.
I mean, but I was just like, if I was a queen and I had unlimited money.
You
Yeah,
are a
yeah.
queen. The money I can't.
Yeah.
No.
I can't vouch
Well,
for.
actually, that kind of goes to this stuff because I remember like in Philly there was like one year, like freshman year, where the Powerball was like super super high, and we were like going around the table being like, "Oh, what would you do if you won the money?" And I was like, "I don't know, probably do something like I can't afford now, like go to grad school."
in Denmark.
Well, no, yeah, because I mean, I didn't realize that was an option at the time, so I was like, "Oh, I can never afford grad school."
Right?
Now look at you.
And now I'm
And now you've done it without the Powerball.
yeah.
without the Powerball.
That's so cool.
I don't have to pay taxes on it either.
I love that. Okay, we have one more.
One
though,
more
right?
for
Which
Annie.
whatever.
And,
sorry.
it-
No,
it'll be a
it's cool. That's a
tie,
good
yeah.
little bonus moment. Yeah.
So the last one is Princess Diana.
I feel like she also did not.
Yeah, she didn't.
I don't know why. I
Yeah.
feel like didn't she go to some like nanny school?
Yeah,
you guys are really
yeah,
good.
or like
Yeah.
education school.
Yeah,
yeah,
She got
yeah.
married because they started dating
Yeah,
when she was
exactly.
like 19 or something.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
And he
she
was
was
in
just
his
like in
30s.
queen
Wow.
mode. So
Yeah, she I think was a public school teacher.
Yeah.
But she basically like her high school education ended when she was 16. She went to finishing school
yeah,
in
yeah,
Switzerland.
yeah.
Finishing school. What does that even? That's so British, but also I don't know. Just
I'm
a level.
I'm
of,
also jealous.
A level of society that I don't really even aspire to be in.
No, honestly.
And that's fine.
It's stressful.
But it was more of like a
Yeah.
formality. It included things like sewing and French,
Oh
but
my
nothing
gosh.
academic.
Bless her heart.
But also, I love how like French is nothing academic. To me, that's
French is an academic.
that's a struggle.
Sorry, sorry
that-
to
sorry to
all
France.
the French
sorry,
people.
sorry to the francophone world listening to this
it's like
English language podcast about Denmark. All the French people
yeah, all of our French audience.
just lost our French
Oh
audience.
my god!
Oh, no.
Oh my gosh.
Désolé.
Okay, so who did we?
So congratulations, you both really
Aw.
can tell somebody's level of education. You both
Wow.
got all of them correct.
That's so
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
Look
Way
at
to go.
us.
Wow.
Yeah, I love that.
Awesome.
We're educated.
Yeah, we don't need
I don't
to
have my
Educated
master's,
on other
though.
people's education.
Yeah.
I do have
but-
a bachelor's. I don't have a master's.
Yeah, but I feel like it's not. I feel like a master seems like such a big deal in the U.S. mostly because it's so insanely
Expensive.
Yeah.
expensive. Except for like when my dad got like a degree from Temple in Philly for like free in
Oh,
like
but
the
like
80s.
in what? Like in
Of
the
course.
yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like it's like a different thing because here it's like paid, and they also have a 3-year bachelor's. So I feel like it's
Oh.
almost like the last year of my bachelor's. Some of the classes I took then were the same I had to take the first year here, like same textbooks and everything,
right.
which is
Interesting.
kind of
You're not
funny.
the first person that's told me that it's.
But it depends on which school you go to.
Yeah.
And I also was taking a bit more higher level classes because I liked pain, I guess.
Yeah.
But I've heard that there's those struggles as well, and we'll talk a little bit about your experience finding a job here and kind of what you did after graduation. But I've also heard that can be tricky for people moving here, whether they have a master's or not, getting the accredited,
Everything's
recognized by
tricky.
Denmark.
Yeah, everything's tricky.
Yeah, I get a lot of questions about that, and I have absolutely no idea where to even start because.
Yeah, also and also the rules are changing. Everything changes
Oh,
all the
of
time.
course. Every time there's a new government, so every what is it, 4 years?
Also, every
There's
6 months the rules change. So, yeah,
Arbitrarily.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
well, you did it the right way then, getting the master's here, so that they can't take that away from you.
Yeah, and
right? I mean, can they? They might try.
They might try.
no, they can't. I got my. They don't have degree like. In the U.S., we have like the giant fancy degrees, and I just had a piece of paper, and I had a friend, and she just got an email, and she was just like, I could have. She was
You're like, this could have been an email, and it's like, but it's like your master's degree.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
yeah. It's. I mean, it's a nice. I have it in Danish and English, like a version of it, so I can show that.
It's cute.
But I also have my fancy giant American one that has random Latin. I think that's that with my parents. I have a picture of it, like. It seems so extra.
Yeah,
That makes sense, though. I could see like the American graduation being like that big formal diploma and like, giant wall hanging, and then here they're just like Toluca.
Yeah.
And also during
Yantala.
COVID.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So I didn't even get like
Even more anticlimactic.
Yeah. So
Did you get to celebrate it at all?
kind of. Also, I was recovering from back surgery.
Oh, God.
And that's a different thing. Yeah. So don't do this. So I had to get back surgery, and I was writing my thesis, and COVID was happening. So I was like, what do I do?
How could this be worse?
And I'm like, yeah. And then if you're non-EU, you can't go on medical leave. But I also couldn't leave the country because. So I found this like one super nice lady in the office, and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And she's like, okay, here's what you're gonna do. Take out a piece of paper. You're gonna call this person and say this is it. And so basically, what I did is I extended it, but I didn't give them. But I said that the reason was something.
Other than
I needed
Something
more
that would
time.
fit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And then and so then I did it. But then I had the doctors being like, hey, you shouldn't be writing a master thesis while you're like
Right.
and I'm like, but I need to. So I did. And then it took me forever to heal, which also made it hard to get the life after graduation a little bit. Because I think, but anyway, but I did it. Yeah. And also, thank you, Denmark, for paying for my surgery.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and I
Shout
got my
out to that.
master's.
Yeah.
So yeah, but don't do that.
Don't do that.
I did it, but yeah, I'm just dumb in my 20s in a foreign country. So story of my life.
Yeah, you're
That
so
would be fun,
dumb
though.
getting like a surgery and getting like several degrees.
Yeah,
And
I don't
knowing
know.
that other people
No,
got
I
degrees.
made much worse decisions in my
Yeah.
20s.
Well,
I
that's
think
why.
you're yeah.
I mean, that's why I started my TikTok because I was kind of stuck at home.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, same actually.
And I was like, oh, I guess I can't like walk for a bit.
Oh.
I might as well bully Danes on the internet. Just
Yeah.
kidding.
Cyberbully them. Yes.
Not cyberbully. No,
I know.
Being like, how do you say phlegm flu bola? You know. So
I just
yeah.
nailed that.
And they love that. That's actually
really
a
do,
great way to
actually.
get it.
Yeah, I wanted to interact with Danes because I
Cute.
think Danes are cute.
Well, let's back it up a little bit. So before the masters, you had studied in Denmark previously. So
Yeah.
was that inspired from your time as an exchange during your bachelor's? Or tell us a little bit about
Yeah, so it was
what that
really
was and
kind
how
of random. I had like a friend who originally was like, "Oh, let's study abroad at the same time," and they could only study abroad in like 2 countries, and one of them was Denmark. They had a scholarship, and the scholarship wouldn't cover studying abroad. And then I was like, "Oh, I guess I'll go to Denmark." Before then, I grew up in like the DC area, and so I had some international exposure. We had one Danish study abroad student, and then we also had a Icelandic guy whose dad was working in DC for a few years, and that was my exposure to Scandinavia before coming. Also, the webcomic Scandinavia in the Worlds. I followed that when I was like in middle school because on like DeviantArt or something.
Yeah.
Way back in the day. So I was like, yeah, I know Denmark. Yeah, I read the webcomic. Yeah, and then there was also an option to stay with the Danish host family, and I was like, oh, that sounds fun. Let me just do that. Because I was really worried about being like in an American bubble. I'm not like other Americans. I'm worse. I'm going to go into your house and eat your food.
Yeah. Wait, so
Particular
how old were
option.
you? And tell us about your
I was
family.
like 20, 21.
Cute.
because the whole process took forever because you have to plan all your classes and stuff ahead of time so you could take electives abroad. But the good news is when you're doing it through your school, like they help you, like you have like a lot more help than I think when you're applying for your master's. Although by then I don't know, I'd done it already. So that's cool. The problem, okay, so it doesn't cost anything usually because you're like, you know, you're paying for the tuition through your school, but you're also not working for a semester. So I had like, so the semester before I was like overloading on classes and had like 3 part-time jobs, and I was like, oh my God. And then I got to Denmark and I'm like, okay, time to eat some small ball, slappe A. Ja, elsker Denmark.
So you were here for 1 semester?
Yes, I was here for a semester, and I also, I think I stayed an extra month because like the weather was getting better, and then I was like, and also I wanted to hang out with my boyfriend, my now boyfriend and then boyfriend. Yeah, went to my host mom, and I was like, hey, can I just like I'll give you like some extra kroner. Can I just like stay a few weeks? And she's like, sure. So that was super fun. Yeah, and then I just hung out with my boyfriend, which was nice. And then I was like, bye, I'm never going to see you again. And now...
JK.
And we celebrated, we had a birthday dinner yesterday.
Oh,
so.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So you really made the most of it, I guess.
I guess so.
Would you have foreseen that when you decided to? Originally?
I feel like whenever your girlfriends like go abroad, like even if it's like a weekend, you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna come back with like a European boyfriend.
Yeah. Like, I did that.
And then like I did, and then I don't know.
What was your mindset then?
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't know. Well, I was like, oh, I guess I'll never see you again. And then we kept texting, and I was like, oh, I guess I do want to see you again. And so I had to figure out how to get back to Denmark, which is hard because money,
immigration law,
and immigration laws. So I worked a bit, and then I like stayed with my parents for like 10 months before. That was the hard. Like 10 months before, saved as much money as I could, applied to grad school, and then came back for grad school. So there was like a little intermission there.
Cute.
Yeah. When I have people reach out to me about like doing their masters, I also tell them like try to see if you can get like some kind of work experience before, because like anything like student jobs, anything you apply for, like you kind of have to, you know, as a foreigner, you need to be better than everyone, you know, kind of. So I think that was ultimately good, even though it was hard because I really didn't want to take out any more loans. So I was like, okay, I was like, okay, I have enough money for either tuition and living 6 months or tuition for a year if I just like don't eat anything. And then I got, but then I got a student job, and that helped fill in the gaps. And so I managed not to have any loans for my master's, which, oh my God, what am I? My dad in the 80s?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Like,
in so many ways we live in like
I'm
the
still
80s
paying
in
off
Denmark.
my master's. Yeah.
Oh, we're going to be
42.
Yeah.
I mean, I have my bachelor's, but I don't know. We'll see if, I don't know. I don't want to think about that.
Yeah, we're going to be paying Paul's bachelor until, I think we calculated until we're like 70.
Oh my God. Where'd he go?
He just went to the University of North Texas, the same college I went to, but it was like he had to take out a loan for everything because he was studying so hard, I guess. He studied so hard.
Yeah.
Well, plus they would stop being the loan payments during COVID was super nice. And of course I was like, it's very low interest, right? So I was like, well, I'm not going to continue paying it, even though I could have. And it just doesn't make sense to pay off something that's at such a low interest rate.
Well, now they have the income-based deferment plan, and if you're living abroad and you're making less than 120,000, which I probably will for a while. Well, I don't know. Who knows? Then after 20 years, it goes. The interest freezes if it's a federal loan, which is what I have. So I don't know. I'm not gonna worry about that.
It is getting better.
That's tomorrow.
Love that.
That's tomorrow
so
Rachel's
good.
problem.
Exactly.
But anyway, So, well, do you know what happens if you're Danish and you get a master's degree?
What? You get paid?
Yeah, you get paid.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Yeah, you get paid. And if you're European, you also can get paid, but you have to also be working 15. Okay, these rules also might change at any given time.
Yeah.
And that's
but right
actually
now,
that's a big reason why they're making a lot of changes in higher education here to kind of, basically deter people from coming
That's wild.
to here to study.
I mean, the degree I got technically doesn't exist anymore.
Right, because it's probably only taught in Danish now, right?
Or it got they kind of consolidated all like the business stuff into just like, because I wanted to take like some classes about like European economics and like stuff that we don't learn in high school. I mean, we learn like, but like, you know.
Sure.
More
specialized.
Yeah. So I wanted to take some like Europe classes.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So because I was trying to decide between CBS and Roskilde, and then the program I really wanted to do got cut. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll.
That made it easy.
Yeah,
to decide.
yeah. Also the costs were a lot different. So
yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
like
how
way
was
different.
it adjusting to a student budget in Denmark compared to a student budget in the U.S.?
Yeah. So I think it was the first time I was studying abroad. I think I was like way more stressed about that because I was working because in Philly the federal minimum is like $7.25 an hour.
Yeah.
And I had a few student jobs that gave me $9 an hour, which was, but still. And then I came to Denmark, and at that time the exchange rate was kind of bad. So I remember being like, oh my God, everything's so expensive. I was like too scared. I also scheduled my classes like one after the other. So I would skip lunch twice a week, which was really bad. Yeah, oh my God, I looked so like malnourished. But it wasn't my fault. But my host family was great. They fed me.
Good.
God bless Moline.
Yeah. And they're in Roskilde.
No, they're in they're up north.
Okay, cute.
Yeah.
Oh, so that was for your first study abroad.
My first study abroad. So my first study abroad, I was just like, oh my God, everything's expensive. A
little bit better for the master's.
And so then for my master's, so I was able to be like, okay, how much did I spend on this, and I was also a bit older, and I also had like very limited funding. Okay, here's another thing about living abroad. So you guys probably noticed this. So the first 2 to 3 months, the budget you're gonna have then, I would say like should be double or triple what you'd have for the rest of the year because you have so many upfront costs.
Oh, that's so true. Yeah.
You have to buy a bike, you have to buy furniture, you have to buy a visa or a passport or something. So I knew that from previously living abroad, and I kind of like a laptop.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my God, because I made sure to buy my laptop like in the U.S. because it's way cheaper.
True.
Sure.
But I remember that was like painful. I was like, oh my God.
They need a charger here, and you need other things.
Yeah. So the first year was tough, I think, until I got like a student job. You just have to think about, you have to compare to the U.S. So, for example, like a coffee. Well, okay, now things are expensive in the U.S. But when I was abroad, I was like, okay, a coffee is like 3 to 4 times what I would get back home or something, or like at a cheap place. So I was like, okay, so that means I'm gonna get a coffee like once a week. I would have Well, I don't know. Now I feel like you can't really use cash because it's awkward. But my first year, I would be like, okay, I have 200 kroners cash or whatever. And when I'm at university classes, like this is my budget for the week, so I don't spend too much on coffee or like whatever. So that was how I got through it. And then I also have it's called a youth card. Your kids have it, but you might have it
like for the metro.
Yeah, and so that was great because it was like, I don't know, I think it was like 900 kroner a month, and then I could go anywhere because I had to go all the way to Roskilde, so I needed that.
Oh, yeah.
And then I also had a bike. So, and then there's also just like so many cheap student things you can do.
Yeah.
It's really important to like stay on top of it because I feel like if people are used to like certain lifestyle things like eating out and going to coffee, like that could be like a lot to adjust to. But because I got freaked out the first time, I'm like, you know.
Yeah. You were ready to come in like on a plan. But it's interesting. I think when you do really adhere to a like authentically Danish lifestyle, it's actually quite inexpensive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're like eating oats with milk. You're eating rye bread. You're like biking everywhere. You know?
Making your coffee at home.
Exactly. Yeah. But if you're like living here like a tourist, it can get quite expensive. And I still do it a lot, honestly. You know?
So true. I'm guilty of that too. That's a really good point. Though.
But so I think we feel like Denmark is expensive. And maybe Danes think that it's expensive also, and that's why they do the things that they do.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yep.
So
they've been adapting to the climate here for centuries and generations, and now the economic climate as well.
Exactly. In so many ways. So I think it's really cool that you had the experience living with the Danish family to maybe sort of like adopt some of those truly Danish ways to sort of help you in a financial way and an acclimation sort of way as well.
Yeah, they taught me how to the right order to put on smokable because you can't mess it up.
You may not.
The practical and the cultural.
You will get roasted.
Yeah.
What would have been the other option if you hadn't lived with and done the homestay?
Yeah, so collegiums. Let's talk about collegiums.
Oh yeah. I have a friend that did that. It's very interesting and very not American.
Collegiums are basic. They're dorms, but they're way different than American dorms.
So different.
I'd say. I mean, first of all, in American dorms, you have like so many rules. Like, oh my God, you can't drink. And then meanwhile, like they have like student bars that are like that have like cheap beer, and they kind of have like an RA, but not really. The RA like is the one giving you beer.
Right. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I got fined for having beer in my like little like fridge.
Oh God, yeah.
I just got kicked out for letting my boyfriend sleep over.
Oh no!
I know. Like in Denmark, are they like, yes, everybody sleep over.
Everyone.
Here's the condom.
Yeah, here's a condom. Like, have fun, kids.
Normal.
Yeah.
They're gonna do it anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah, but the thing is, the collegiums can be kind of hard to get into. There's some that are like for internationals that are like a bit more expensive. But like a lot of collegiums, it's like a few months to like sometimes a few years wait.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah. So like, and until then, like people they're just living pretty far away outside the city. Yeah, but they're so much fun. I don't know. I don't live in. I've visiting friends and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like such a vibe. It's very much of like a collective. Well, a collective is a different thing, but it's very much of like they do things together.
Yeah.
Like everything's so organized. It's also kind of chaotic, but it's
what I think is interesting is that it's like in the U.S. in dorms. The dorms for the university are on campus, and maybe it's like a lot of times it's divided by gender, and it's just obviously the one school. And I think it's so cool how it's like basically just like these reserved apartment buildings for students, and whoever is studying anywhere can apply to live in these places. So you get this really cool opportunity to like mix, mingle, meet your husband, network, it's really cool. Yeah. And so that's a really unique experience compared to the US as well.
And also Danes are a bit older when they go to university because because they have kind of like 2 extra years because they start school at like 6 instead of like 4 or 5, and then there's the extra gymnasium year.
They might take a gap year.
And then they might take a gap year, or they might do like the what's it called, the
After school,
or the boarding school, or stuff like that. So that also I think creates a bit of a different dynamic
Finishing school.
than if you have a bunch of like 18, 19-year-olds who have never drank or barely drank.
Right.
Yeah, it's like their first time leaving home.
Yeah, so it's a very different dynamic. But that's also but that was also good. Like for my bachelor's. And when I studied abroad during my bachelor's, that's also I got to meet Danes from a bunch of different universities.
That's cool.
Okay, I know there's like hating on CBS. I know is like such an art. I'm not gonna. I have friends who went to CBS who don't suck. But I remember like my only friends who like made a lot of Danish friends were the ones who were in collegiums with kids from Roskilde, and I think that they're way more open to talking to you, I guess, because you're different. So that also gave me a little, I don't know, information.
Yeah.
My boyfriend, he was living in a collective when I was studying abroad.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, so it's kind of like communism.
Cool.
No. No. Okay, so cohabitating places. It's kind of like you're living with like other people who are usually other students. And
are they like formally organized, or is just
kind of informally?
Okay, cute.
Yeah, and it's just they do more things together. Like they have like weekly dinners, and some it's like people who are creative. I think like people who are studying creative things. It's more of like a Danish thing, but there's like Facebook groups that are like Dance Collective Housing, whatever. So it's kind of like a step. I'd say that's kind of like in the middle. They did stuff kind of similar to like a lot of parties together. The weekly dinners I think were really cute.
That's cute. So it's kind of like a commune.
Yeah, a step down from a commune.
Less hippie,
love that.
More.
But but they like just do it. Like they make an effort to like do stuff together.
I love that.
Which I think is nice because I think that's like,
especially when you're abroad, right?
Yeah.
Say like just the social aspect of that must be.
Yeah,
it's got to be like a real relief to kind of find somebody to have dinner with, not just for the.
But it's mostly a
budgeting
Danish
factor,
thing, I think.
Okay.
I don't know if
Is it hard to break into if you're?
I don't know. I mean, I know that
Roskilde, I had some friends who were one that was like international. But I don't know. And my boyfriend, obviously not Danish, but all his roommates were Danish. But that was, I don't know. Yeah, but they would also do, like I went to they also did like things that like collegiums do, like tour de chambre.
Okay.
Do you know what tour de chambre is?
I know it's a party.
Oh, fun.
And it involves different rooms.
Yeah. I'm so glad I did it in an apartment and not a dorm because I would have died.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's basically like each room is like a theme,
fun.
and then they have a drinking game associated with the theme, and the person
Cute.
whose room it is like dressed up, and then you go to the next room. It's so much fun.
That's so fun.
yeah. Like I went to one. Yeah, it was like a cowboy themed, and you had to
Oh my
try to like get the string around the shot.
Aw,
Yeah,
fun.
so it's so fun.
Does this happen at a certain time of year, or like
I don't
around a certain
know.
event? Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, they
he's
just
shaking
decide.
his head.
Yeah.
I mean,
You just-
it's when you
doing
want to
this.
do it.
Let's do it right now.
Let's do it right
Oh
now.
my god, I'd love to do it. Yeah, because I remember I had a friend when I was studying abroad the first time.
Mm-hmm,
I had a friend who was like, they were trying to make their room like American themed,
Oh, funny.
and we were
So it was like red cups.
yeah,
Yeah,
so red
yeah.
cups, and they made Rice Krispie treats because
Oh,
Danes
cool.
Danes
They
like
really think that's so American.
yeah Danes
Yeah.
get so excited about Rice Krispie treats.
Yeah.
And then like I think like it's like
That's
shots
like
of
my
lemon.
least favorite American
I
snack.
hate Rice Krispie treats.
Yeah.
Isn't that awful?
We're losing the French
They're
and the
kinda-
Rice Krispies.
Yeah,
Rice
sorry
Krispies.
guys. I know
Sorry.
people go crazy for them, and I'm like,
No, like get a
me-
Kit Kat. Get something.
Oh, I
get a
love
Kit
Kit
Kat, get a
Kats.
Reese's.
Yeah,
like,
get a Reese's.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so Rice Krispie treat to me, it
Let's
feels like something
see.
healthy.
Okay.
You know,
It's so
Yeah.
not,
cereal.
but it's-
It is
No.
not at
Right,
all.
but if I'm gonna blow that many calories on
Yeah.
something, like yeah,
But
that's
also-
some
I don't know,
ice
but
cream or
sometimes it's
something.
nostalgic.
I also hate marshmallows. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
My kids
Canceling
love
the
them.
marshmallow
Really?
lovers.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
People
Who are
who-
we left with? It?
I don't like marshmallows, but I do like flubella. Weirdly enough,
Oh,
Flubella,
yeah, they
oh.
are
which is kind of
good.
marshmallow adjacent,
Yeah,
right?
it's marshmallow. Yeah.
My
Yeah.
middle nephew
Yeah.
loves those.
They're so
like if
good.
we don't
So
bring them
good.
home, like
How
we-
do you travel with them?
very carefully. It has to
Wow.
go.
It's like in a
I don't think he
crate.
understands like the effort we
Yeah.
put into. Yeah.
Oh my God.
We basically get them in the airport so
Yeah.
that they last a little bit longer.
good
But
idea.
of course, they're more expensive. But that's fine. And then we bring them like only in our carry-on.
Yeah.
And almost
yeah,
like
I
wrap
th- yeah.
sweatshirts
Yeah,
around
yeah.
them so that they're
Aw.
fine. And we walk in the door, and he doesn't even say like, "Hi,
Yeah,
Uncle
he's
Derek,
like,
Uncle Mikey."
"Flubber,
He's just like,
flubber, flubber.
"Did you bring the candy?" Yeah, he can't say it either.
Yeah, he's
so
just
we
like
try
that
to teach
thing.
him.
Yeah. That's not an easy one.
Yeah.
But wow, what a good wow.
But that's his Danish culture. Is full of them. Yeah.
I love that. That's so good. A life after graduation.
Okay,
what are your
so
options?
so let's talk about visas.
Cool.
Yeah, this might change in 6 months.
Of course.
So when I first came to Denmark, the rule was after you graduate, you have a 6-month job search visa. They found out that doesn't work because it takes so long,
Right.
especially
Unless your
and-
name is Jens Jensen,
yeah,
it's
Jens
going to take a little
Jensen.
longer than
yeah,
6
exactly.
months. Yeah.
And I'm just like a short ginger kid. Like they're not gonna. Who's gonna hire me? Just kidding. Yeah, I mean, so there's this thing called the establishment visa, which they also have changed in the last year. So I need to double check. But basically, that is supposed to give you like a year or two to establish yourself. And then after that, you have to start getting like either a job off the specialty list or the pay limit scheme.
Right.
Or cohabitation visa, which if you're dating a Dane is super hard. If you're dating a German, it's a little easier. Which is what I'm
Ironically,
doing.
yeah.
So crazy.
Like you would think that Danes would want the
Yeah.
same rights that other EU people have
Right.
living in Denmark.
It's like
to-
I'm disincentivized to date a Dane.
right.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And I didn't even think about that because I don't know. But with a German boyfriend, because at first I was like, oh, I'll go on the establishment visa, and then I realized that I'm like, oh wait, EU rules are way easier,
Yeah.
and so I just applied for that. But I still have my establishment. I have 2 visas now. I think I still have my establishment visa because I graduated recently enough. Jobs. So yeah. So I've done like a lot of like marketing, proofreading, copywriting. I mean, with COVID, like originally I thought I would go into like events marketing, but that didn't happen.
Valid.
So I've done a lot like tech writing because a lot of tech companies do like their language is American English because Microsoft and whatever.
Sure.
So lots of random stuff. I feel like a lot of people just do kind of random. It's like it takes a while to like kind of get. But also it's like it's tricky, but it's not impossible. Is what I tell people. So
So freelancing, leaning into
well, most
things that
most
set
of
you
the time I
apart.
haven't done freelancing. Most of the time I've had proper jobs.
Oh, cool.
but like leaning into those things that differentiate you from a
Yeah.
Dane or somebody who's EU. So like having those
That American
those
English.
American English.
leg
those
up.
Yeah,
skills.
and I taught English before, so
Okay.
I had that background a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also like social media stuff and all that.
Yeah, that's so,
So-
cool.
Find like a way to differentiate yourself and like have like kind of a plan ahead of time to sort of do that. But I don't know. Everyone sometimes you just gotta like figure it out as it goes.
Yeah,
True.
yeah.
And we do have a wonderful episode on finding a job
Yes.
in Denmark.
That is Leslie from English Job Denmark.
Yeah.
so
She's
that was a good
amazing.
one. I
Yeah.
watched
Yeah,
that.
she's
Yeah.
really awesome. She's a
Yeah.
great connection to have and has so many incredible resources.
So we'll link that episode in the show notes and description.
For sure.
We'll also link the visa rules because as we as we jokingly mentioned,
Yeah.
they do change frequently. So we'll put nuidanmark.dk,
Yeah.
which is the website that will have all of the specific visa information you need. We'll put that in the show notes and description as well.
Oh, that's fabulous.
And then we'll also put, Rachel, all of your links
Yay.
too,
Yay.
so that people can find you
Oh
and
my
get more
god,
of
we can
you.
be friends, guys.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, well, thank you so much for joining us today. That was very informative. I have no experience studying here whatsoever. I had the very classic American getting your bachelor degree experience, and
But in Texas.
in Texas. Yeah. Actually, fun like side note, I went to FIDM in Los Angeles, the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising, and I hated LA so much. I keep saying I hate things. I don't know why I'm so
You're a very
negative
positive
today.
person. This
I
is
know,
a-
like
I
I
think-
but
hate
you
marshmallows.
love, but
think-
you love flowbola.
I do love flowbola.
So
So yeah.
So we got some.
Yeah, I do love flowbola. I do love the LA weather, but LA just honestly freaked me out. And so then I moved back to Texas and I was like, I need to do something very normal. So then I went to the University of North Texas and that's where I met my husband, and then we moved to New York. Anyway, but that's that. That's
We all take different paths to Denmark.
Isn't it crazy?
Through university.
All paths lead to
All paths lead to
Denmark.
Denmark.
I love it.